The strangers, believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I walk alone in the night, beneath the pale moon, loving's for the fools. Baby, beware of my bite. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a creeping through the shadows in the corners of your mind. with the wind blows. I run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering my name. No, I can't be tamed. My heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a
Alright guys, well Satellite's looking at a photo and they can't hear you at the moment, so it's all good. Yeah, I don't want to sort of... Oh, actually it's on the screen, so they can probably hear. Oh, I'll put you on. There you go. I can hear you now. Hello everybody!
Oh, thank you.
I wasn't going to put you on because I wanted to hear what your reaction was to the photo, but then I just realised that it's on the screen, so everybody can see it anyway, so it's gonna... Yeah. We're going to talk about nipples and milk ducts for a little bit. This is probably going to put everybody off breast for a little while at least. But yeah, it's kind of disconcerting. But yeah, anyway, apart from that, guys, obviously, welcome everybody. Welcome to the stream. The most demonetized stream probably in history, but anyway. So obviously we're going to talk about Tommy Robinson. We're going to talk about breast tissue and milk ducts. Don't ask why. We're going to talk about Avengers. No spoilers. Don't worry. We're not going to spoil Avengers for you. We are going to talk about Brie Larson in it, though. And we're going to talk about Creepy Joe, because apparently he's going to be running for president. And there's been a little bit of movement regarding Uncle Creepy Joe, who now wants to become president of the United States of America. So... oh boy, let's just jump into it, I suppose. Let's kick this off with a bang. Someone's already disliked it, so why thank you for that dislike. I don't know why, but regardless, let's keep going.
It's probably what you have on the screen.
No, there's someone that goes through and dislikes every one of my videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You have a hate watcher. That's so cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I should post my content to more feminist forums or something just so I can get more of them. I need more of the hate. Just give me the hate. I thrive off your hate. Alright, so let's jump into it. Pictures of human milk ducts goes viral, and I'm never going to look at breasts the same way ever again. Oh boy. Milk ducts. What are they? What do they look like? And do I really have them? I don't want breasts anymore, apparently. That was the reaction on Twitter after one person or one user shared an image of the flower-like muscles. The milk-making glands are divided into segments and are narrow tubes, or ducts, carry the milk from each segment to the nipple. But for some, it's apparently not common knowledge. Well, no, I don't think really people sit there and think about it, to be honest. But anyway, which is why many people online seem to find this picture hard to swallow. Oh, thank you very much. Probably an ex of your disliking. Nah, they don't know my streams. But you know, hey, if they want to be an ex. But anyway, let's keep going. The photo went viral in a matter of days, has over 130,000 likes and counting. It seems to shock some, with even a few saying it felt creeped out. Definitely feels like it's creeping me out. Little bigoted rat. Nazi Nick Griff 2.0. Tommy's staying with the same seat as Nick Griff 1 in. We don't need this fascism in our country. Okay. I think I found the hate watcher, guys. I think he's in chat right now. Say hi. Everybody say hi to the person that I think is hate watching me. But let's keep going.
Wait,
however,
are they accusing us of fascism?
I don't know. Yeah, whatever. If I was a fascist, I would have kicked him out, wouldn't I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be allowed on YouTube probably.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe you're watching the wrong stream.
No, I wouldn't say that. No, keep watching the stream. It's all watch time in the end. But anyway, yeah. Apparently, we have someone in chat going off of calling us. This is why which right wingers are funding him. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Tommy?
Yeah, what are you? Oh, Tommy Robinson.
Tommy Robinson's a Zionist. I don't know how people are sitting there calling him a Nazi when he's literally a Zionist. But anyway.
Yeah.
Rachel, darling, you're sounding like you're a little off your medications. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? No, sir, I'm talking about Tommy. Oh, okay. What do you mean he's a fraudster cokehead? I don't know.
Someone really dislikes Tommy Robinson.
Yeah, that's right. We all come,
It's okay to dislike Tommy Robinson. I mean,
exactly.
But I will correct you. He's not a fascist. That's Nazi stuff, and he's a Zionist, so he can't be a fascist. He loves Israel.
And I don't know how you're going on about him being a cokehead and saying about poverty. I don't know what you're talking about there. If you have links, let me know. Yeah. But anyway. At the moment, we're talking about breast tissue. Okay, Rachel? We'll talk about Tommy in a sec. However, it was acting as breastfeeding that broke the ice. Some people managed to see the natural beauty within the flower-like ducts. It's kind of creepy. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of creeped out by this photo, to be honest. Perhaps not surprising, considering a sizable portion of the people tweeting may have been breastfeeding themselves. So, it's beautiful to me. I breastfeed my kids, and wow, those things nourish my babies. Yeah, it's what all milk does do. But anyway, the glands stop producing milk after mother gives birth. That's not entirely true. That's not entirely true. The breast tissue will actually keep producing milk as long as there is a demand for it. So as long as there is a demand, the breast tissue will keep doing it. And also, it actually starts producing milk before the baby is actually even born. So, yeah, there's that too.
It does, but very little. It's sort of like a dry run, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Although what it does produce first up is this thing called colostrum, which as soon as the baby is born, the moment they're born, it's the tradition is to put the baby on the chest, because them ingesting the colostrum that is there, that's actually really important because it contains something which is immune system. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's convicted for violence. No, as far as I know, Tommy Robinson has not been convicted for violence, Rachel. He has been convicted, as far as I know, the only thing he'd been convicted on was to do with a loan application from his brother or something. So, yeah, he put his name down on a co-sponsor on a loan from his brother, and there was some mistake put down on the loan application form. And I'm sorry, but if you've gone through and literally sit there and filled out a loan application form over the past 5 years, they are really easy to make mistakes on. So I'm not even worrying about that, to be honest. A Zionist can't be a fascist. Yeah, a Zionist can be a fascist, but you called him Nazi. That's the difference, Rachel. You literally said up here earlier on. You're like, he's a little Nazi.
It was actually me who said that, and I understand my error. So I didn't mean to say a fascist can't be a Zionist. I meant to say like a Nazi. No, totally a fascist can be a Nazi. Yeah. If you look at the alt-right, they love Israel's concept, right? Yeah. Because it is an ethno-state. It's like a fascist state. It's very far-right how the government works there in Israel. And that's probably what...
Like the movie Black Panther.
Yeah, that's probably what Rachel's thinking. But Tommy Robinson, he's not railing against the country the way it works. He's railing against mass Islamic immigration. That's not exactly a hatred. It's more of a response to a problem.
And also, Rachel, you're moving goalposts because you literally said up before he's a convicted fraudster. He has many convictions for violence. And then later down here, you're saying Tommy Robinson has many convictions for fraud, violence, and using a false passport. You're literally moving the goalposts. My argument to you was originally that Tommy Robinson doesn't actually have, as far as I know, any convictions. No, he hasn't been charged for battering his wife. I'm sorry, but you're just flat out wrong on this. You really, really are. You need to do some more research and stop watching so much CNN, because I think it might be getting to your noggin. But yeah, he has not been charged with battering his wife, as far as I know.
And this is, this is really full on. Where did you read that? This is what the media is doing to people, telling them that he batters his wife. Apparently, I mean, she wouldn't just make this up. I'm sure this must be a story she's read somewhere, and it's very concerning that mainstream media will actually print claims like this.
Battering his wife and he's never been charged for battering his wife, that I've been told. Rachel, if you've got a link, post the link. But otherwise, I'm going to call bullshit on him battering his wife. As far as I understand, his wife and him have a very loving relationship. Okay. Post links, Rachel. If you don't post the link, I'm going to assume it's not the media. Okay. Post links to the story about him battering his wife. I'd like to see that. Post the link to Tommy Robinson battering his wife.
Well, Rachel won't be able to post a link per se because she doesn't have a wrench.
I'm not going to wrench her because, yeah. But
I don't want to wrench Rachel. But Rachel, you can post the link, remove the HTTP part of it, and just put the www whatever, or just leave that there.
Yeah.
And I actually might agree with James on this one. There's a lot of people that do this on the internet at the moment.
Yeah.
They are literally just a paid person in some data center, call center thing, and they're just causing trouble.
Yeah, but at
look,
the end
post
of the
a
day,
link.
But at the end of the day, to be honest, guys, at the end of the day, it's good to talk about this. Because if someone's coming into our chat to talk about this, for example, then it's something that needs to be refuted. So, yeah, I would say, look, I get the whole it's just a troll, ignore it sort of argument, but yeah, to be honest, it's no. Yeah, it's a bad argument because people like this will just go through chat channel to chat channel. And yeah, just they need to be refuted. And like I say, unless Rachel posts the link, I'm calling bullshit because I don't know any instance where he's been charged for battering a wife or battering his wife. So, like I said, if you got a link, post it. Otherwise, I'm calling BS on your claims there. Okay. Have you got a link, Rachel? Because I noticed you haven't posted it yet. So, unless you post the link, I'm thinking you're full of shit.
Yeah, because I look it up right now, and there's nothing.
Yeah,
there's something about mortgage fraud.
Yeah. So, what happened with the mortgage fraud? Look, obviously, we'll talk about Tommy in a sec. But the mortgage fraud was that his brother went for a loan application. Tommy Robinson co-signed on it. And apparently his brother made a mistake on the loan application form. And that's weird. They had to go back 10 years to go through and to go after him for something like this. Like, this dude, like, I went for a loan when I bought my house, and I think the loan application thing was like 15 or 20 pages long. Like, yeah. Okay. See if you can find it, because I can't find anything.
Yeah. There is one other thing about him being held at the Luton Police for a vicious assault on a Muslim man, but I don't think.
But he
wouldn't have.
But she said wife beatering, and that's what I want to see.
I know.
Battering his wife is what they said, so I want to see that argument. In April, he was convicted of assault of an off-duty police officer who had intervened to protect Robinson's girlfriend from Robinson. He was in prison for 12 months. So they charged him for battering the police officer, but not the wife? Is that what you're saying? That doesn't seem like it makes any sense to me.
And that's a Wikipedia thing too, because you can see the numbers on it.
Yeah, that's Wikipedia in
there. And another problem, I actually sent an email to...
it's Wikipedia.
But with those references, 3, 4, 5, etc., does any of that have anything about it?
And it's actually on Wikipedia. It's under criminal convictions. So, according to Wikipedia, and taking this with a grain of salt, because, well, it's Wikipedia, 2005, he was convicted of assaulting an off-duty police officer. Okay? If he was battering his wife, or whatever they claim that the police officer intervened in, why would they not charge him for also attacking the wife? Why did they only charge him for assaulting an off-duty police officer? That would be my first question. And in July 2011, Robinson was convicted using threatening, abusive, assaultive behaviour for leading a group of supporters into a brawl involving 100 people in Luton. There's nothing in this about him attacking, being charged for assault battery wife. So, yeah, like I said. He's a thug in the thoughts that with many convictions. He's got 3 convictions that I can see here. And, no offense, Rachel, but he's got 3 convictions, and sorry, but some of these convictions are
it's a Huffington Post. All right, I found it. It's a Huffington Post article in 2013, 7th of January, and it says here, he was January 2013. Has a checkered history of run-ins with the law. Searchlight magazine reported that he was convicted in April 2005 for assaulting an off-duty police officer who had intervened to stop a confrontation between him and his partner. A confrontation. It doesn't say anything about physical assault.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but you're wrong, Rachel. He hasn't been charged with assaulting or wife battery or anything like that, like you claimed. So I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Anyway, let's get back to the topic because we've wasted enough time on this.
And by the way, the officer says that Robinson rugby tackled him to the floor. That's what he says. And again, this other article on this other Huffington Post again says that it was a confrontation, not an assault. He did not hit anybody other than the police officer.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. From this.
We're going to talk about Tommy in a sec, James. We just want to talk about more milk ducks and get this story over and done with. So,
okay.
Yeah. Mainly because it's kind of putting me off breasts right about now. So let's just get this over and done with. Some people took the time to question why they had never seen the biological diagram before and had only seen male autonomy pictures in textbooks and classrooms. But others saw the funny side to it. It looks like those water balloons where you have to do it, you have to attach the hose and then up to 100 water balloons fill up. Which is kind of the reverse, I suppose. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, it's... I don't know. I find this creepy. I find this whole image like I'm just getting it off my screen because I just find it disconcerting. It looks frigging weird, and I don't know. Look, I know it's natural, and I know it's breasts, and everybody loves. I've been trying to breastfeed ever since I've been born again. But like I say, I'm 30 something and I'm still trying to breastfeed. But like I say, look, at the end of the day, yeah, I know it's natural and all that, but I don't want to see that picture because it kind of puts me off. But anyway.
Well, basically, people look great on the outside, But when you start cutting in and looking on the inside, it's really, really awful.
Okay, your terminology there makes you sound like a serial killer, bro.
I know. I thought I would word it like that for you. No, but in all seriousness, if you go onto Google and look up pictures of organs and stuff or surgery, mostly surgery is what I was more
weird.
referencing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, stuff in there is just wow. It's just, oh my god.
Yeah. All right. So since everybody wants to talk about Tommy Robinson, let's do it. Let's talk about Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson is standing for MEP in Northwest Region. Are you triggered yet, Rachel? Rachel, are you triggered? He has put out a video. Obviously, we'll go through it and we'll play the video for you now, just to give you an idea.
Like many of you, I wasn't born into a powerful or wealthy family. My mother was an Irish immigrant and my father a plumber.
Hey, are you still there? Everything fine?
Yeah, I'm
just dead air.
Video. They taught me to stand up for myself, for others, and for my beliefs, helping me become the man I am today. My name is Tommy Robinson. I am a father, a son, and a husband. I love the family that raised me to be the man I am today. I love the country that gave me the freedom to do just that. Like many other people from my background, I've never voted. I never believed it would make a change. None of the politicians in our country could relate to me or even seem to care. I know what it feels like to be left behind. We are ruled by people who know that we exist, but they still don't care. They don't breathe the same air or drink the same water as us. They don't like the same things or live the same lives. It doesn't have to be this way. Fairness is possible. Going into politics was never part of my plan. People like me aren't supposed to run for office or get into positions of power or importance. But that is something I want to change. In 2009, our soldiers' homecoming parade was attacked by extremists. That's when I made the decision to do something. I felt a burning desire for justice in a world around me that seemed more and more unjust. And now people all over the country and across the world stand behind me. They do it not because of me, but because they have seen the same things I have. They have seen the same injustice and suffering. This following and support has not gone unnoticed. And that is why they want me gone. They tried throwing me in prison. A sentence that was overturned because our legal system found it unjust and unlawful. They don't want ordinary people to unite to get rid of them. And that is why I'm standing as an MEP in the northwest of England. If they can do it to me, they can do it to anyone. So we have to say no more. They live on the gravy train, drunk on their own arrogance with no change in sight. I want to be that change. 100% of my EU salary will go to the child victims of sexual grooming. I will fight censorship and the bullying elites who don't care for the working class concerns. Our children and their future are worth more than the sneering platitudes of self-righteous, arrogant political elites. They deserve more, and I will make sure we get it. Brexit showed them we have a will of our own, a will of the people. But they ignored it anyway. The EU, Theresa May, our own MEPs. If we let them walk all over us now, they will do it forever. It is time to rise up and throw them out. A vote for Tommy Robinson on May 23rd is a vote for all of us. Vote Tommy because change is coming. I need you all to go to www.votetommy.co.uk.
Alright, so that's the video that he's put up. So basically what he's doing is he's said in the video that he never wanted to run for politician. It was never part of the plan. But he's fed up with the way the politicians are carrying on at the moment. And he doesn't see, basically what he said, paraphrasing a little bit, he doesn't see a way that they can sort of turn it around without sort of, doing this themselves. It's a case of, well, if you're not going to stand up and support everyday people, why would we support you? Why would we stand up for you? And that's what he's doing, is he's turning around basically saying, they're not standing up, they're not supporting us, so we're just going to have to do it ourselves. And this is the same sort of thing that Sargon and Count Dankula and all these sort of guys are saying. I agree with it. Count
Dankula just wanted to be a comedian. Sargon just wanted to play video games and hatch dinosaurs in Ark.
Yeah.
What about Tommy? What was he before he did all this?
He was just a lad. He was just a football lad.
Oh, yeah. He just wanted to play football. There you go.
He just wanted to go to the football games. Look, whether you like Tommy or not, whether you like what he's done in the past or whatever, at the end of the day, I can sort of understand where he's coming from this. And look, to be honest, I would much rather a football lad like Tommy Robinson in politics than someone like Theresa May or Labour like Corbyn or whatever it may be. I really don't have a problem with Tommy Robinson running. Look, obviously certain loyalties, obviously that's going to come up every now and then, I suppose. But to sort of indicate on what you've said here, you're saying, what are they hiding? Rachel sounds worried this should be good. That's what Jeanette said anyway. Yeah, I think that this is going to trigger people. There are people that are going to lose their shit over Tommy Robinson running for MEP. Like, Sargon has had, I think he said 3 to 5 hit pieces a day written on him for, the first week after he announced that he was running. As an average.
Yeah, Sky News is the latest one. They've actually just broadcasted something. I haven't seen the video yet.
Okay.
But
yeah. People are going to lose their minds after. People are going to be so triggered on Tommy Robinson actually running for MEP. Now, I don't know if he's actually going to run. So I'm not sure about the situation over there. Does MEP... is he running under the Brexit Party, or is he UKIP, or who's...
I have no idea, actually. He did... I got a notification. He just... did a video, votetommy.co.uk. Have a look at the site. Votetommy.co.uk. Bring it up if you want.
Yes.
White people have a problem.
.co.uk.
I love our chat sometimes.
Tommy Robinson standing for MEP of Northwest England. On 23rd of May, Tommy Robinson's vote for Tommy Robinson and send the European Parliament as the MEP for Northwest England. You need to register your vote by the 6th of May. It takes a few minutes and you can do it by clicking the button below. Obviously, I'm going to post this link in here for anybody that was there. Sign up for the campaign updates and reminder on election day. Help cover the cost of campaigning. I have a bit of a problem when they keep asking for donations, but anyway. They're all laughing at us, all of them. Theresa May, Corbyn, the European Union bureaucrats. 17.4 of us voted for Brexit, but they don't care. So yeah, basically it's a rallying cry saying that the elites want business as usual. Big politics, big banks, the big media. The establishment is against Brexit. Everyone is against it but us, people.
That's a nice site, by the way. It's even got the picture where it moves with the thing as you scroll. That's so cool.
What's that, sorry?
HTML5. It's a nice website.
Oh, Tommy's?
Yeah, I'm having a nerd out. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, campaign.
You see how when you scroll, it moves the picture, but it's almost like the picture is scrolling at a different speed as the front.
Yeah.
How cool is that, eh? That's a HTML5 thing, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. He's a bit of a geek, guys. But anyway, but yeah, no, it doesn't really say if he's running for UKIP or what. Look, at the end of the day, look, is he perfect? No. Has he got questionable stuff in his past? Sure. We all do. Everybody does. But at the end of the day, you show me a politician that at the end of the day that is squeaky clean, and I'll show you a liar. Because I don't know any politician that's clean. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, I like the fact that he's running on the whole against the deplatforming, which obviously is something that he is obviously against because it's happened to him, obviously. He's running on a pro freedom of speech platform by the seams of it. Look, yeah, go Tommy, I suppose. Yeah, I really don't have a problem with this.
They brought this up with Sargon. This is going to be doubly true, massively true for Tommy, actually. So if he gets voted and then he's an actual MEP, Twitter will have to unban him and verify him. YouTube will have to remove the restrictions on his channel, more than likely, because you can't do that to a politician. At least, from my understanding, these platforms just... I mean, there's no law saying they can't, but they just can't. You can't do that with politicians, I don't think.
True.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, this is the thing. Like,
I don't know what the rule is exactly, but they don't do that.
Well, even like Trump can't block people on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because he's
and he can't be blocked.
No.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, like all these journalists, and they're going to have to unblock Tommy Robinson. Like, Jesus Christ, this is going to be funny. This is going. This is going to cause a meltdown. Like, this news has only literally just come out a few hours ago. I saw this come out probably about 4 hours ago. So
3-hour stream tomorrow.
This is going to cause an epic meltdown. People are going to lose their shit over this. Like, people are going to go absolutely freaking ballistic. Like, first it was Sargon, then it's Count Dankula, then it's Tommy Robinson. Like, holy shit. Like, everybody, all the YouTubers are running for polls. Like, I've even joked about it. I've even gone around to the guys at work where I work, and I said to them, how many are going to vote for me if I ever run for politician? But, you know, like I say, look, at the end of the day, you can't blame people for doing this. You can't blame people for going through and actually getting upset and flipping the table and saying, if you aren't going to represent the average day people, then we are going to do it. We are going to run ourselves. And people like Tommy Robinson and Sargon Avocado and Count Dankula, they have the subscribers to pull this off. This is something that you and I spoke about 12 months ago. And we had a bit of a discussion then. And I said to you then that Sargon running for politician, I would not be surprised. This is before we even heard rumours of him actually doing it. We suspected he was going to be doing it. And because we're in a Discord, this is under, actually I think it was under the Bennett Mayor. And I said that if Sargon was able to do this and actually able to run, and if we could get Sargon to run, that this is going to cause a flood of YouTubers to flock to the political sphere.
Sargon kicked and screamed the whole time, though. Like, everyone's like, be a leader, be a guy, and all this stuff. He's like, no. Gosh, I think he's being dragged by all of us audiences to just stand up and do it. And he has resisted it, but he's doing it now. And I think he's fully embracing it now. So this is good.
I do want to say, Mr. Medica and the guys that laughed at the time when this news was going around about Sargon running. They're like, Sargon will never be able to do it. He's doing it now, guys.
Yeah, I think I was very unhappy with the whole thing. I watched a lot of Ralph Retort at the time, and I saw all the stuff. And when Sargon came onto the Ralph Retort and did that whole Gamergate 2.0 spiel, I thought that was pretty silly.
That was pretty bad, yeah. Trump has bigger issues than Gamergate.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, look at Sargon now, though. He's out there doing these sit-downs, the Bristol debates, he calls them. That's fantastic stuff, man.
I've actually sat down. I've watched a couple of those actually, and this is my argument at the time with Sargon and stuff like that, and Ralph Retort and Mr. Medica and all these sort of guys. They're turning around saying that, for example, that what's it going to do? What's it going to achieve? And my argument was well, what's the harm in him trying? Worst case scenario, Tommy Robinson, Sargon of Akkad, Count Dankula, they run. And is a little did you raise it yesterday? Yeah, I did trip. Yeah, I'll knock it down a little bit. But like I say, if these guys run and they go through and they pull it off, then obviously it's great. If they don't pull it off, then they're like every other politician that doesn't win. What do you fucking do, so to speak?
Yeah. Yesterday, I noticed something odd. And yeah, he did raise it. I think that microphone might be broken now, so I'm not going to use it again.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm on a good working thing right now, and I was probably loud. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
made in China. Actually, it's not. It's that other thing I was using. It says "Made in Cambodia" on it.
The what? Cambodia makes stuff?
Yeah. Apparently. Yeah.
Okay.
That it's a HTC wired earphone set.
Okay.
It says "Made in Cambodia" on it.
Okay. Guys, let me know, guys, if that's better. That should be around the same level for both of us now. But yeah, like I say, look at the worst case scenario. For example, Sargon and these guys running. Look, if they don't make it, they don't manage to get elected. They're like 98% of every other politician that doesn't. Who cares? What's the harm? And that's what my argument was back in the day. Was what's the harm in Sargon saying he's going to run? Or what's the harm in Sargon running? What's the harm in Tommy Robinson running? Worst case scenario, they're going to raise awareness. So I support this. I really, really do. So
the thing is, Tommy Robinson's popularity, I believe, and I'm gonna call this, and let's see what happens when the election happens. I believe that Tommy Robinson's popularity is far greater than any of the numbers on social media. The reason I believe this is because of something that Sargon said many, many months ago. Sargon apparently has met Tommy. He was with him.
Yeah.
And how he described the difference between the fan base was Sargon's fan base, they would go, "Hey, Sargon," and publicly just go, "Hey, I'm a fan, I love you," and all this stuff. Tommy's fans would be like, they'd come in close and go, "Hey, man, I support you, man, and I believe you, and I believe in you, and all this stuff." And they quietly do their thing and then just scurry off.
Yeah.
They don't want to be known, to be supporters. So what you're going to have is a very silent majority of people who are just going to vote for this guy, and then obviously the loud minority of people that are actually subscribers or publicly say, "I support Tom." So that's the way I see it. It's mostly going to be older people are the quiet ones. There's another thing I think Sargon mentioned. It's that the young people don't give a crap. They just go, "Yeah, man, I don't care about the optics of liking Tommy." But the older people are more the quiet types, and they're not really on social media.
Yeah,
and they're the ones who are going to push the votes, man.
Also, look, at the end of the day, I think also the fact is that Tommy has Tommy's been suppressed right now. Like even we're getting suppressed. So, like for example, you go through and you look at our analytics. There was a period about a week ago where our stats just dropped like that.
It's all over. It's all over.
Yeah, and I was going to say, it wasn't. And then when we did some research, it wasn't just us; it was everybody. But yeah, so like that was with the new algorithm that came through. So what they're doing at the moment is they're suppressing Tommy, they're suppressing Sargon, and even us. And like we're only a small freaking channel here. Let's face it. So at the end of the day, I would say that his social media numbers don't reflect anything of what he's actually going to get voted, because that number has also been suppressed. So
actually, just an interesting little thing. It's actually a Google-wide algorithm. So it affects YouTube search as well as Google search, the normal Google search. Now, I watched a video from TruthStream that she basically just did a screen recording and just went through Bing, Yahoo, Google, DuckDuckGo, and it basically, this is really bizarre. Yahoo and Microsoft's Bing and DuckDuckGo, those three don't suppress anything. I'm actually quite surprised Microsoft and Yahoo don't suppress anything either. That's wow. Okay. But Google would massively mess with the top 10 links that come up from the autocomplete, as well as the actual rankings of websites based on what they are about. So basically, just don't use Google search at all. I mean, Yahoo and Bing are actually better, although I would say DuckDuckGo is the best. That's just my opinion.
We just got some breaking news on Tommy too.
Oakley dokley.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. So this is coming from Yemeni. Tommy Robinson has pledged his entire MEP salary to the charity of children's sexual abuse grooming gangs if he wins his seat in the upcoming European election.
Oh my god. Oh man, tomorrow it's 4-hour stream to cover all the news on him.
Which kind of sucks because I got tonight off and I have to work tomorrow. But yeah, so it looks like even Yemeni is talking about this. Brittany Pettibone has obviously tweeted about it. Brace yourselves for a tidal wave of salt with the laughing emotions. So
man, there's not enough salt mines. We're going to hit peak salt.
Yeah, like holy shit, this is
this is so awesome.
Oh boy. I must admit, I do love this clown world that we live in right now. Like, I don't know what happened in 2015, 2016, but I really, really do love this clown world that we do have right now. Like, this is just... Yeah.
2019 is the strangest year that I've ever seen, actually, to be honest.
It's not just that, but like even last year was even bad. Like
oh yeah,
like even Trump winning. Like, let's face it, when was the last time a real estate tycoon who literally is, you know, made famous by saying you're fired, has actually run a presidency of the United States of America and literally said on the presidential trial that he would throw Hillary Clinton in jail if he was president? Like,
I know, it's amazing stuff. Yeah. The troll in chief, man.
The commander and troll, yeah. But look, at the end of the day, I don't really see a problem with Tommy, Sargon, or any of these guys running. I really don't. Look, worst case scenario, they're going to raise awareness regarding the Muslim situation, the grooming gang situation and everything like that. Tommy Robinson running for MEP. Look, Tommy, man, if you ever see this video and you want to come on here, I'll have you. I'll gladly have you on, mate, if you ever want to jump on here and have a chat. Apart from that, look, go Tommy Robinson, I suppose. I don't have a problem with this. I really, really don't. I do think that we are going to see weeks of the mainstream media just losing their shit. Like, it is just, like Brittany Pettibone says, it's going to be a tidal wave of salt. It really is. It's just, they're going to lose their shit over this. This is going to be funny. This is going to be fucking hilarious for the next week and a half or 2 weeks. But I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Apart from that, have you got anything else you want to add on Tommy Robinson, or?
No, I'll just say I hope he wins the election for his area.
I hope they all do well. And
also Saigon.
Yeah, Saigon, Count Dankula.
All three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be amazing.
Yeah. Maybe we need more people like this in the electoral and running in the elections. You know? look, maybe this is what we have to do in the future to right this ship, to go through and to turn this boat around. Maybe we have to start doing this sort of shit. And I'm not talking about just those guys, but like, Brittany Pettibone. Maybe she has to run for US. Maybe Martin Selma needs to run in. Is he Italian?
Well, they can't go for president. They're way too young, but they can go in like AOC type thing.
Yeah,
Senate, local election stuff.
Yeah.
Senate.
Yeah, and like Martin Selma, maybe he needs to run for MEP or for Senate or whatever it is over in Italy or wherever he's from. Like, maybe we can get Lauren Southern to be senator for Canada or whatever it is. Look, at the end of the day, we had Faith Goldie run and she got third overall in the end.
Yeah, she got third, but the actual percentage of the votes was tiny, from what I understand. I would much prefer, if I was Canadian, I would much prefer voting for Lauren than her, though.
No,
I don't know why.
I would much rather do a lot of other things to Lauren than Brittany, but anyway.
Just in general, I don't have a coherent reason, but I generally just don't like Faith Goldie.
Yeah, I there was a little bit of controversy around Faith Goldie and some of the companies she chose to keep when running the election. There was a bit of influence that seemed to have magically popped up right before the election.
Yeah.
People were a little bit upset.
Yeah, just things like that. Like, I know that she was doing some really good reporting and, friends with Lauren, although it doesn't seem like they do anything together anymore, and I wonder why. But there's just a lot of weird... I don't know. It's not a coherent thing. I just don't trust that. If I was Canadian, I wouldn't vote for her. And something I said in the chat too, and I fully understand and support, what Miss Pettibone did there as to, sort of distance herself from Tara McCarthy, because she used to do a show with Tara. They used to interview people.
Yeah.
I totally understand why. Yeah. Tara McCarthy is a bit too full on.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of a female version of the other guy, bombislam.com.
Oh, yeah.
I find he, yeah.
Yeah, but okay, but do we know what actually happened with Brittany and Tara though? Do we know the actual full story?
I don't know the full story because that would probably be something only them two know. But from the exterior, if you're looking from the outside in, I'm like, optics, man.
Yeah, but was it that Brittany walked away from Tara, or Tara walked away from Brittany, or was it a mutual split?
I don't know, actually. I mean, the thing is, they don't really interact on Twitter that much, not that I've seen. They kind of, it was like a mutual, whatever, just walk away. Yeah, but I mean, I can understand it from that point of view. It's like, Tara's way too full on, man. Like,
look, I get if it was the case of Brittany walking away from Tara, I do get it, especially with everything that's going on with her partner and everything, Martin, at the moment. I get that. Yeah, I get that. But like I say, I don't know the story between why she left the podcast, or why she left the show, so I don't know what happened there. But look at, hey, it's Brittany Pettibone. Is she actually she's a blue check mark on Twitter, is she? Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
How did Brittany Pettibone get a blue check mark on Twitter?
Oh, good question. I wonder how that worked. As for Martin Selma, you bring that up, dude. What? I am actually. Well, when I first heard about this, I was like, "Holy moly!" And I was actually really annoyed by it. Like, I almost think they might be endangering his life. I mean, the guy's not even able to enter America at the moment.
No.
And yeah, he's in a country where there's not the greatest amount of security, if I understand that right.
Hmm. I think he's also been banned from Twitter, isn't he?
Well, that's how that works, right?
She's still on Twitter because, well, I follow her and vice versa. No, I follow her. She doesn't follow me. Brittany, follow me if you ever get this message. But I was gonna say, so Nick Moreau has actually said that this is interesting. So let's talk about this for 5 seconds. Nick Moreau says the official Tommy Robinson campaign account is Tommy Robinson MEP, which I'm going to follow, by the way.
Oh, cool.
And if you haven't followed,
so they let him back on Twitter.
Well, this is the thing: Twitter can't take it down because he's running for office.
Exactly. Yes.
So.
Awesome.
Yeah. But yeah. But anyway, yeah. Obviously, I found that interesting. But yeah, apart from that, guys, obviously, if you have any more questions, any queries, or anything at all, regarding Tommy, or should we go on to the next story? What do you reckon? Go on to Avengers?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, let's talk about the Avengers then.
Okay, so we're not going to get into spoilers or anything like that, guys, so you don't have to worry. I'll try and filter out as much of the spoilers as I can. But Avengers...
I'm a big mouth, but I haven't seen the movie, so don't worry about me.
Okay. So Avengers Endgame set to shatter box office records with $850 million as it emerges that Karen Gillan's Nebula has 3 times more screen time than Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. Oh, the salt. Now, I have seen Captain America. I have seen Endgame. I saw it last night. I will say, if you are worried about Brie Larson stealing this show, don't be. Don't even if you don't like Brie Larson, and what's not to love about that piece of lovely American ass. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, I was going to say, but at the end of the day, even if you don't like Captain Marvel, she's hardly in it. Okay, and that's not spoilers. So at the end of the day, if you liked the original Avengers, yeah, don't worry about Captain Marvel. Guys, she's hardly in it at all. She's such a minor role. It's really quite funny, actually, to be honest.
And a heavily make-upped minor role from, I remember that, Salt Mine too.
Yes. People got a little salty over the fact that she's wearing makeup in the show. But anyway, Avengers Endgame is poised to crush box office with predicted $850 million in opening day weekends worldwide. The flick, which is the final chapter of the story, told across 22 Marvel films spanning 11 years, is expected to beat its predecessor Infinity War's eye-watering $640 million worldwide opener, making it the largest debut in cinema history and putting it on course to make a staggering $1 billion in its first week. Screen times for the superheroes has also been released, and while Chris Evans' Captain America bags the most amount of time with 1 hour 6 minutes, it's Karen Gillan's Nebula who leads the pack for the females and bags 3 times as much screen time as Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. So, last year, Avengers Infinity War opened to $257 million in the US and grossed $640 worldwide, the biggest global opening of all time. Judging by the hype around the film and early reviews, Avengers Endgame is set to be a phenomenal financial success. So yeah, I went and saw it last night, and the cinema was packed. Literally packed out. And I went to like a really late screening. Like,
yeah, and all the pictures of Captain Marvel cinemas having empty seats, and
yeah,
also the cinemas also like apparently people talk to like cinema people who know this stuff and was like it was weird how there were like prepaid bookings of multiple seats and then like no one would show up. It was like they were trying to
boost the numbers,
inflate the numbers.
Yeah. But judging by the hype around the film, but yep, okay. So Endgame is already shattering pre-sales records, including selling more advanced tickets in its first 24 hours than any picture in history. Avengers Endgame has already set an opening day record in China with an estimated 107.2 million in ticket sales, has been revealed by the distributor Walt Disney Co. on Wednesday. The highest grossing film of all time so far is James Cameron's Avatar, released in 2009, which racked in at $2.8 billion at the global box office. So,
you know what? For such a huge movie, and Brie only having like a tiny role in it at all, and yet she was in every single one of those interviews that you know they make fun of her, like they were, you know, don't touch me, that sort of thing, having that issue. Like she was put in every single one of those with each of the actors. Like what? Why are they front and centered her all the time, and then she's like a nothing burger in the movie?
Yeah, like she literally, she's in like the first. Say the movie gets split up into say 6 or 8 sections, right? She's in the final boss fight, which, by the way, guys, goes for fucking half an hour and is fucking epic. And she's in that for about 5 minutes, and she's in the other at the start of the movie. She's in it for about 5 or 10 minutes. Like her total time in the movie is literally 15 minutes. They've worked it out. She is not in it fucking at all. Like, how
good is the movie? Like on a 1 to 10?
Oh, dude, literally a solid 9.5. It is.
Yeah, that good.
It is. Yeah, guys, look, I am going to say this. If you have any questions or doubts about seeing the movie, go and see it because it was really good. It was insanely good. Yeah.
Well, hey, hon, find a babysitter. We're gonna go watch the Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, like, dude, like, just like the last battle scene, like that goes for like half an hour to like 45 minutes, is worthwhile seeing just for that. Yeah, like it's full on, dude. It is.
Yeah, I've heard so far this morning too, just on the internet in general, people are loving the movie.
Yeah. And Thor is a crack up in the movie. If you see it, you'll understand why. Hulk is funny. Hulk is good. They take shots at Captain America throughout the film, just like making fun of him and stuff like that. The social justice warrior aspect of it really isn't in the film much at all. There's maybe 1 or 2 points where I could say, maybe that was a little bit socially justice warrior. I don't want to spoil it at the end. But there's a scene at the end, and if you see it, then we'll talk about it later. But yeah, but even that's a bit of a stretch. I think that was just more a case of the situation happening because of circumstances. So yeah. So like I say, yeah, I would not go calling this a social justice warrior film. This to me is a guy flick that is just basically, yeah, like, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really good.
They didn't want to ruin the movie. They got a decade behind this thing. They don't want to mess anything up.
Yeah. Very funny. It's also very sad. Yeah, not saying why. Spoilers. But it's just saying that. But yeah, at the end of the day, no, it was really good. It was
too much.
Sorry?
You've already said too much.
Well, no, that's already people already said that. People already know that it's got highs and lows. People already said that it's going to make you laugh and it's going to make you cry. So yeah, we pretty much figured. Yeah, we already know that anyway. But I'm not going to say why. But yeah, like I say, look, at the end of the day, yeah, no, it's really good. It's really cool. But this is the thing, right? This is the thing that bugs me, right? Mainstream media is going on about, hey, Captain Marvel was only in it for 15 minutes. Okay, but Loki was only in it for 2. Drax was only in it for 7. Groot was only in it for 7. You know, War Machine was only in it for 35. Like, Rocket's only in it for 35. Like, to be honest, she did pretty well in the movie. Like, yeah. Like, And I also have a bit of a problem with this major female characters and major male characters. Right? Obviously, they haven't gone in, they haven't put anything in it like Thanos or anything like that. I can't see his name on this list here because obviously it's just talking about Avengers. But there's female Avengers in this that they're not mentioning, as well as males. Like, where's Spider-Man, for example? Spider-Man's not on this list, right? But also, there's more females than just Black Widow, Naboo, Valkyrie, and Mantis, for example. Where's the blue girl? You know, Nebula's sister. Yeah. She's in it a lot. She's in this movie a lot, and she probably rivals Nebulia a fair bit. Actually, I would probably... So Nebulia, is that the blue one or the green one? Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure. But I haven't seen all the Avengers movies, though. That's
okay.
part of the issue, too.
Yeah, you need to catch up on them. But Nebulia is the blue one, right? Okay. Gamora, I think her name is. She's in this a little bit. She's not mentioned. Like, although she's only in it for... I'd probably say the last 20 minutes, maybe. You know, like there's plenty of other female characters that are in this that they've seemingly left off. You know, they're seemingly very picky about what they class as a female role, as a major role. And I think the reason why they've done that is because they're trying to set up the whole pretense that women only have a total time of 116 minutes and the men have 361. Yes, because half the females are on this list. Like,
yeah, they do that a lot. And also it has to do with if they represent what they want them to represent. Like, for example, you have... Yeah. If the female characters is pushing the narrative, they're included. If they're not, they're not. Yeah.
Like for example,
that's what I've seen.
Like, for example, Loki is in this for 2 minutes. Would you consider someone who's in this a major male character when he's in the movie for 2 minutes?
I don't know. I know that Loki is one of the major characters.
But is he a major character in this if he's only in it for 2 minutes?
Well, no.
What about Groot and Drax, who are in it for 7 minutes? Are they a major character role for this movie?
No, a major character is a leading role.
So that's what I'm saying, is it seems like a lot of the people they've got in this, and obviously I would also say that, like Valkyrie, for example. I think that's the chick in it. I would say Valkyrie is not a female major role. I would say that the Anoa'i, which is the girl from Wakanda, I would say she is not a major female role. Also, I noticed that, for example, also Black Panther is not on the major roles, which I would probably say he's not a major role in this film either. So like I say, it's seemingly weird how they've gone through and they've picked people who are pushing an agenda. It's sort of like, yeah. So I disagree with this list that they've got here with this end times, this screen times, because I think that they're trying to deliberately, like half these names on here I would not consider a major role.
What the studios are probably starting to realize is that the social justice warriors don't actually produce any kind of money for, the product. I think they're starting to realize this, and so they just do what they're going to do, and then if it makes money, they'll continue that way, because listening to social media is totally the wrong move right now, because it causes the get woke go broke issue.
For fans of Thor, you're gonna like the ending. I'm just gonna say that you're gonna like where it's going.
Well, before you start giving any more, let's move on to the next one.
Well, that's not really spoilers, so yeah.
Oh well, it depends on your definition of a spoiler. You might want to stop while you're ahead.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, like I say, I would not consider that a spoiler, because I haven't really said anything. But anyway, all right. So let's jump on to the CNN primetime drops down to 15th place. So the far left CNN embattled primetime schedule collapsed to 15th place last week due to double-digit ratings perverse. Compared to the same week last year, fake news outlet lost 17% of its primetime viewers, although all throughout of last week, despite being in some 90 million homes, CNN was only able to average 783,000 views. I'm not surprised, and I think this is. I don't want to say I like it when mainstream media fails, but I sort of like it when CNN gets a bit of just desserts, I suppose. Like, there's only so much you can lie to the audience. There's only so many times you can bullshit the American population before people start sitting there thinking, no, look, you're fake, and they turn off.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So, kind of happy about this. Hillary Clinton calls for Congress to use a Mueller report as a roadmap against Trump. God, she really does. She really hates the fact that she lost to him, doesn't she? Failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, and we'll just say that, argued Wednesday that in an op-ed that Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report documents a serious crime against the American people. Okay, sure. Our election was corrupt, our democratic assault, our sovereignty, our security violated, which had nothing to do with Trump, by the way. And this is the definitive conclusion of the Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report. It documents a serious crime against the American people, she wrote. And yet, still has nothing to do with Trump. Clinton's op-ed, published in the Washington Post, comes during a raging debate among the Democrats on whether to try and impeach Trump is based on Mueller's report, which recommended no charges relating to Russia collusion or obstruction. So, I think that kind of answers the question here, isn't it? Yeah. I think it's just Trump derangement syndrome, and she's just pissed off because she lost the election. My argument would be that.
Yeah, I'd say that. This is quite a few years later, and the salt is still there.
Oh yeah,
so
we're still harvesting that salt, that lovely. The salt must flow, so to speak. To steal a line from the tunes. Will Assange team up with Trump to bury the deep state once and for all? Don't believe that Russiagate has concluded.
Yes, please.
Indeed, it may have only just begun. Coming days after releasing the anticlimactic Mueller report, Julian Assange was deprived of asylum and arrested at the Ecuadorian embassy in London, where he now faces extradition to the United States. Was the timing of his dramatic move a mere coincidence or something else going on? The WikiLeaks founder and editor was dragged into the blinding light of London just 30 days after the IMF approved a $4.2 billion loan for the cash-strapped Ecuador. But no, coincidence at all there. And 18 days after the conclusion of the 2-year Robert Mueller investigation, which failed to unearth any trace of Russia collusion. Hang on, that's not all. 1 day before Assange lost his asylum, Attorney General William Barr told U.S. lawmakers that he believed the Trump presidency campaign was spied on during the 2016 election, sorry. I'm reviewing the conduct of the investigation and trying to get my arms around all the aspects of the counterintelligence investigation that was conducted during the summer of the 2016, Barr told the House panel on April 10th, 1 day before Assange's apprehension. Vanity Fair wondered aloud in the headlines, will Trump get his grand inquisition? Last but not least, Chelsea Manning, the former U.S. Army intelligence officer who leaked 750,000 documents, videos, and diplomatic cables, was sent back to prison for refusing to testify before a grand jury against WikiLeaks and founder Julian Assange. So, what do you reckon?
Hope. That's all I have for it. Just hope. Because
you reckon it might be his November surprise?
Possible.
October surprise.
Could be.
Sorry, October surprised.
Yeah. We'll have to wait a few months.
Well, at the moment, Julian's not going anywhere. So the UN has ruled that in Julian Assange's favour. But regardless of what that means. But the Mueller report leaves Russia. The Mueller report reveals Russia taped Bill Clinton having phone sex with Monica Lewinsky. So the Washington Examiner reports that a redacted portion of the Mueller report reportedly mentions a claim that Russia's recorded President Bill Clinton having phone sex from Air Force One with White House intern Monica Lewinsky. I wonder how much that call costs. Clinton allegedly was recorded by the Russia in 1990s, allowing Russia to learn of the affair before American officials. A reference told Clinton intercept was redacted from the Mueller report to protect personal privacy, but sources told the Washington Examiner that the context makes it clear what was blacked out. According to the report, Center of the National Interest President Dmitry Sims sent Trump's son and lawyer Jared Kushner a 2016 email with recommendations, talking points to counter Hillary Clinton's Russia attacks. The email referred to a well-documented story and highly questionable connections between Bill Clinton and Russia. At a meeting in New York, Sims told Kushner the details. Russia allegedly recorded President Clinton on the phone with Lewinsky, opening questions of foreign leverage over the ex-president turned potential first spouse. I do not have sexual relations with that woman. Also, Nixon, I'm not a crock. Some of the most famous lines from presidents, but anyway. But yeah. Thoughts and opinions?
Expensive phone call, and I think he was a hound dog for most of his presidency anyway, right? The guy is a bit of a hound dog in general, like all those times he's been caught, staring at other chicks, and Hillary would catch him doing it.
Yeah, but at least the world was safer when Bill Clinton was in power than Bush. At least, Bill Clinton might have got his rocks off banging a Monica, but, Bush got his rocks off bombing Baghdad. So, what would you prefer?
These things aren't really all that conducive to whether or not they are a good president, right?
Exactly. Well, bombing Baghdad, I think, would be conducive to being a good president or not. But Clinton
Depends
banging,
who you ask. Eh?
yeah, but Clinton banging Monica and all that, I don't care about it, to be honest. To be honest, if your wife is Hillary Clinton, you're going to tell me you're not going to take a piece on the side? Like, can you imagine going to bed next to that thing every morning?
Yeah.
Like, God, I probably would have cheated too if I had been sleeping with Hillary Clinton. So I don't blame him, to be honest. Joe Biden announces he's running for president in 2020. After months of deliberation, former Vice President Joe Biden on Thursday announced his decision to run for president for a third time, answering one of the biggest outstanding questions about the makeup of the 2020 race, which is Creepy Joe going to run? The announcement came in the campaign video released on Thursday morning. But his campaign's not off to a really good start. For a start, Michael Avenatti endorses Joe Biden for president. The lawyer that's currently looking at how many years in jail. Former Vice President Joe Biden announces his 2020 campaign for president in a video Thursday. Troubled TV lawyer Michael Avenatti endorsed him and said, He has my enthusiastic support. My question is this, do you think this is a bit of a campaign because Avenatti wants to discredit Joe by associating
I was thinking
himself?
the same thing. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
So, to me, that's what it seems like. It's sort of like, hey, look, at the end of the day, I associate myself with Joe, maybe someone else, like anybody else. Could win the election. And I think it's sort of a case of he knows he's radioactive, so he's going to go and give Joe Biden a great big bear hug just to make sure he takes him down with him. But anyway. But Joe Biden starts president campaign by praising Antifa, mind you. So, he's doing a pretty good job of being radioactive himself. Former Vice President Joe Biden endorsed Antifa in a video announcing his president bid Thursday, characterizing the group as courageous and saying it's wrong to draw a moral equivalent between white nationalist groups and those that oppose them. So in other words, when we beat people that we don't agree with, we're not fascists, we're just fascists, I suppose.
There's also some stuff going on around the whole Antifa thing. There's apparently like a video going around of some kind of press conference where they were basically trying to outline how the actions of Antifa are about stopping racist attacks. So one of the things that they're saying is how Antifa does these things like breaking windows and setting bins on fire to attract the attention of white nationalists so that they bash them rather than bash minorities. One of those things that's going around, which is just patently false. Antifa would be doing these things even when white nationalists weren't around. So,
Well, that's the thing. Even when the white nationalists don't turn up, Antifa goes and beats up the cops. So what's their argument for that?
Yeah. Well, what they're doing is trying to rewrite history, obviously. They're trying to, so at the moment there's some kind of propaganda campaign to try to revitalize the optics around Antifa, which is interesting that you bring this story up now, and I'm like, oh, maybe the two are connected.
Maybe. Yeah. It's actually interesting because Joe Biden launches his campaign on the lie that Trump said neo-Nazis were very fine people. Trump never referred to the Charlottesville racists as very fine people. He specifically has condemned them, which is true. Yeah. Joe Biden launched his president campaign on the proven lie that Donald Trump is a neo-Nazi and Charlottesville were very fine people. He said there were, quote, some very fine people on both sides. And that's exactly what he said.
Yeah, he said there were fine people and there was also violence on both sides.
Yes, yeah.
The media lying about things at the moment is actually taking new heights. There's the same thing is happening to a prominent Australian comedian, Isaac Butterfield. I think that's the right name.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's Isaac, isn't it? Yeah. They took a false quote, like it's a completely false quote, totally made up, about which is an anti-Semitism quote or something, and then they've just run with it across the entire worldwide mainstream media to drag him.
So it wasn't a false quote. I'll correct you on that. It wasn't a false quote. He did say the line, but it was in a joke. He was doing stand-up. He's admitted he did.
No. He played the audio, and what he said on the stage is completely different to the quote that's in the print.
Okay, so I saw a video from him. He's put up on his own channel, where he titled it something like "I will not apologize" or whatever, and he admitted
he said the title is "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
But no, he didn't, because when he plays the audio, the words that he said are completely different to the quote from this lady who said he said this. So yeah.
But,
you can play it if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah. Okay. So video. I'm sorry. There's the video there. So
I'd just like to take this opportunity
to one way for another.
Apologise, to say sorry to everyone I hurt. Few days, the mainstream media has gone and it has been an interesting. Me, I knew going into this, provoking the all-powerful bear that is the mainstream media was dangerous. They have so much unrelenting power, but I underestimated that. On Monday morning, a newspaper article was released. Melbourne Comedy Festival performer Isaac Butterfield criticised for Holocaust remark. Comic in Holocaust joke fury. Comedian shock retort after Holocaust gag. I was now the enemy of the people. Hundreds of emails, thousands of aggressive DMs from people, strangers that I never met, even people in the public eye. People saying that they wanted me dead. People saying that maybe I should be one to experience the effects of a Holocaust. People saying that they wished that I killed myself, that they were going to kill me, that I was a horrible piece of shit, an anti-Semite. This has been my week. All this after a joke. I was the enemy of the Jewish world. I was on the J News, an Australian Jewish website. The Australian Anti-Defamation Commission was in an all-out attack upon my name. Newspaper after newspaper was copying the same story.
I don't even know what the joke was actually in the first place, McGrath, but yeah.
And talking about it. The Israel Times was talking about it.
It's in the audio. It's about halfway through, I think.
All of this.
I'm playing the first part where he admits that he actually said the joke.
Over a joke.
Well, no.
A piece of
he said a joke.
People laugh.
But what they're saying he said is completely false to what he actually said.
Okay, so here it is here.
Holocaust?
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Did I make a joke about the Holocaust? Yes. He did make the joke. He did make the joke about the Holocaust.
Okay, but the wording, what they're saying he said, is completely false to what he actually said.
Come on, dude. Between you and me.
It's a big difference.
But come on,
it's a huge difference.
Between you and me and the chat, like... Look, I'm defending him for saying... Hang on, let me finish. Let me finish my sentence.
Different.
Let me finish my sentence, right? At the end of the day, I reserve his right to tell the joke. But my original statement was, he did say the joke. Which is true.
No. The joke that they're saying he said is completely false.
So
he said a completely different joke.
So like I said, you'll see like I said, originally, he did say the joke about the Holocaust. Did he say a joke about the Holocaust? Yes. Right.
No.
That was my original statement.
No, he didn't. his joke about the Holocaust is not actually about the Holocaust. Have a look at the audio. Go through the video.
He just said it. Do you want me to rewind it? And he just literally said,
No,
did I make a joke about the Holocaust? Yes, he's admitted to it.
Go through the video. Find the quote that they're claiming he said on the media.
Have you got a timestamp?
And then play the actual audio.
Have you got time?
I don't, but you'll find it.
You want me to go through a 16-minute video?
Anti-Semite.
I know it's hard. I know. I'm sorry.
Well, it's not just that, but he also can hit me for copyright.
But... She emailed me.
Well, that's probably true. Just look. Watch it after the show. Just watch it after the show. What they wrote in the articles.
Okay, I found it. Here it is.
Yeah, and he was making fun of exactly. He wasn't making fun of the Holocaust. He made fun of vegans. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Here it is. Here.
Show before. I once did. Just fucking unsubscribe and fuck off.
McGruff knows what I'm talking about.
Here's the thing. I've had vegans come to my show before. I once sitting right at the front row there one day, and he said, "I'm a vegan, mate, and proud of it." And I was like, "Do you know what I get up to, all that type of stuff?" And he said, "I do." And I thought, if you got to know me, maybe you'd change your mind on vegans forever. Silly boy. That's so ridiculous that I would change my mind just because I got to know him. I mean, that's like a Jew in 1942 turning up at Auschwitz.
Dude, he's literally joking about the Holocaust. He just literally said, it's like a Jew.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a Jew.
It's like a Jew in 1942 turning up to Auschwitz.
In 1942 turning up at Auschwitz.
Yeah. Now, find the part where he outlines the quote that they're saying in the mainstream media. They're actually claiming he said one thing when he has the actual audio claiming a completely different thing.
Okay, but that's not what my statement was. My statement was he joked about the Holocaust.
Yeah, but my statement always has been throughout this whole thing now is that.
But you said no. You said no. I was wrong. You said I was wrong, but I wasn't.
Yeah. But the reason I'm saying that is because my point is they're saying he said something in the mainstream media when it's actually completely false. He said something completely different.
Okay, we haven't even got to that point yet. My argument was that he joked about the Holocaust. And you said no.
Well,
no, he didn't. And I'm like, no, he actually did. He did actually joke about the Holocaust. He admitted to it. We can rewind the live stream if you like. That's literally what I said. And he did joke.
Yeah, but really, to be honest, really, it's a joke about vegans with a Holocaust joke there. But who cares?
Dude, I don't care if he jokes about the Holocaust. I really don't. I can go to comedy shows and find this sort of stuff funny. It's a joke. He's a comedian.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to drag him for it. But at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is, did he joke about the Holocaust? Yeah, he did. Do I think he should have been able to do it? Yeah, I fully support his right to be able to say what he wants as a comedian.
Yeah. And in this live stream, the whole time, I've just simply been complaining about the fact that the mainstream media quoted something completely false to what he actually said.
Well, I haven't even got to that point yet, so yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we gassed the cunt and
Jesus Christ. And then he literally says, anyway, we gassed the CUNT, the vegan. Like, he's joking about the Holocaust.
Don't you hate evidence? Perhaps all these newspapers across the entire globe.
But apparently someone who claims was in the audience goes to the mainstream media and gives a completely fabricated quote.
Yeah, well, I haven't even got to that point yet. So
that quote that lady...
So a Jewish woman who attended his show said he made remarks, imagine if the joy of people when they heard that Jews were sent to the gas chambers during the gig. So that's what a Jewish woman who attended the show was supposedly claiming. Now that point itself, that is fabricated, yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolute fabrication in the mainstream media.
Yeah.
That was my point from the beginning. It's just the media fabricating lies.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you say that, no, I'm wrong,
Yeah. I was saying you're wrong, thinking that you believe the statement in the MSM.
No, I haven't even got to that
yeah.
point yet. Yeah.
But
Like I
just
said,
was trying to make sure that you understood that they fabricated a line.
Like I said, I didn't even know what the joke was in regards to. Like, I saw this video, I'm sorry, like 3 days ago or whatever it was when it was put up, because I subscribed to him on YouTube. And I watched the I'm sorry video because I thought he was actually cucking to the progressive left. And then I realised after the first minute that he wasn't. But like I said, yeah, I turned it off after about 2 or 3 minutes. I heard he made a joke about the Holocaust. I was like, yeah, who cares? He's a comedian. I don't care. This is the same sort of thing as the comedians over in England, for example, that did the goose step. You know, are we going to get offended over that? Of course not. You know, like at the end of the day, the comedians, they should be able to joke about anything. It's the same thing with Count Dankula. I've been on national radio defending Count Dankula's joke because it's just that. It's a joke. So, yeah. Is he making fun of the vegans? Yeah, of course he is. Is he making fun of... Is he making a anti-Semitic joke? Sure, I suppose. You want to stretch...
I say no.
Well, he is making fun of the... He is... Well... Sure.
It's a Holocaust joke. It's not anti-Semitic.
Yeah, Holocaust joke is probably a better way of putting it. I'll give you that. He is. But he's a comedian. We're allowed to joke about things. And if people get butthurt over this stuff, like he says, if you don't like the video or you don't like the show, you don't go. It's simple. If you can't take a joke, to quote a famous rapper, if you can take a dick, you can take a joke. If you can't take a joke, you don't go to the show.
That's a good one.
But anyway. Anita Hill, unsatisfied with Joe Biden's attempt to make amends. So, continuing on our discussion regarding Creepy Joe, because his campaign is off to a roaring start, by the way. Former Vice President Joe Biden reportedly telephoned Anita Hill earlier April in effort to make amends with the law professor who testified before the Senate in 1991 about her alleged allegations of sexual misconduct by the then Supreme Court nominee Claire Thomas. Yet Hill is unhappy with how the conversation unfolded. This is a no cucking safe space. Yeah, we don't cuck, don't worry. In Wednesday interview with the New York Times, Hill revealed she felt unsatisfied with Biden's remarks and will not go as far as to say the Vice President apologized for what he ensured. I don't think he could apologize because that would then admit that he was wrong, maybe. So maybe legally he's protected from that. I don't know, but I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, Creepy Joe's campaign is not off to a good start. We got, people like Anita Hill coming out, speaking out against him. We got him going through, saying that, Trump is a neo-Nazi, we're very fine people, which is a blatant lie. He's going through, he's praising Antifa. He's got Michael Avenatti going through and supporting him. Like, this guy, his campaign is not off to a real good start. But, yeah. But, yeah, anything else to add? We'll jump on to the next one.
No, not really. One thing is, so Avenatti is nuclear. And having him support you is terrible. We can possibly apply that logic. Just be careful, because the mainstream also likes to use support from so-called Nazis for, say, Saigon. So let's just be careful what connections we want to make. Yeah.
And look, at the end of the day, do I think Avenatti going through and supporting Creepy Joe Biden is going to affect my vote for Joe Biden? No, I wouldn't have voted for him in the first place.
Exactly.
If I was American, I wouldn't vote for him anyway, so he's not going to get my vote anyway. But do I think it would affect my voting on him? No, I don't think it will. But do I think it's going to affect some of the left's voting? Yes. Because they're all about that's guilty by association. And that was my argument for bringing it up. It wasn't so much that the right, is going to go through and not vote for him because, well, no one's going to vote for him on the right anyway. But at the end of the day, it's more the fact that the left, I think, will have a problem with them, and will have a problem with the association. But
yeah. The association thing is creepy in of itself. But
well,
at the moment, we are going to see this ramp up, though, because there's an unprecedented amount of people running for president on this cycle.
Oh yeah,
and I've never seen anything quite like it.
The Democrats are literally flooding with like just they're flooding their. There's so many people that are running on the Democratic side.
It's crazy, isn't it?
By the way, Tommy Robinson was trending in the UK.
On Twitter?
Yeah.
They allowed that? Wow.
He was trending for third place. And also his full name was also trending in the top 10 as well. So the top 3 was Avengers, Endgame, Biden, and Tommy Robinson.
Well, his real name would have to run on his real name for MEP. You can't use the fake name, right?
True.
Okay, yeah. So he's basically going to embrace his real name at this point.
I think he'll always be called Tommy Robinson.
Of course, everyone's going to call him that, and we'll continue to call him that on the show, I assume.
Yeah. Just because,
but then again,
there is people in like Islam that will want to kill him.
Yeah, but as running for MEP, like it's going to be his real name all the time, and it could slip up sometimes by accident.
Yeah. If we do slip up, it's no biggie, but yeah. But anyway, 300,000 migrants travelled through the country in 2019, including from Africa and Asia. And by Asia, they mean Muslim countries. The Mexican government is reporting that 300,000 migrants from around the globe have travelled through Mexico in its first 3 months of 2019, gaining entry to the United States of its southern border. While the majority of the migrants that the Mexican government says are from Honduras and other countries in Central America, individuals from Cuba, Africa, and even Southern Asia, Muslims, have been identified in the migrant caravans.
Yeah, there's also a 10,000 strong caravan making its way, I heard.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that at the moment, but I wouldn't be surprised about that, to be honest.
It was mentioned on Tim Paul's channel, I think.
Okay.
It's a 10,000 strong caravan apparently. It was spotted. They're about halfway there.
Okay. Yeah.
That's crazy. Like when I heard of that, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Just refreshing the aggregator now.
Something up?
Apparently, I found a new article that'll probably finish the day off on a bit of a funny side. Sure, if you got another, post it in chat, yeah. Is this about the 10,000 or someone else?
Yeah, I'll bring it up, see what the source was.
Yeah, sure. While you're doing that, look, at the end of the day, obviously, as regards to these migrants, am I surprised? No. Do I think Trump needs to build the ball? Yes. And at the end of the day, I think it's sooner than better. Look, to be honest, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that 300,000 people have gone through and have actually tried to cross the border. Really not surprised at all, to be honest. Sorry. How'd you go with that story? You find it or?
Yeah, I found something on worldtribune.com because apparently the search is getting mixed up with 10,000 migrants request visa, and then there's other stories, a new caravan of 10,000 migrants said headed to southern border, but it's from November 23, 2018, which is confusing me because the video was just like a day or two ago.
So maybe he got the dates mixed up? Because I know There was one from January 23rd. Yeah, January 23rd I can see is the date.
There's one on Daily Wire. Migrant caravan swells to as many as 10,000. Resumes march. So the caravan might have, yeah, and then joined up with another caravan.
Maybe. 24th of January.
Yeah, that's a bit odd. Huh.
See, even the Daily Wire, that's in like October. So, what I'll do is I'll go through and we'll quickly bring up Tim's video and I'll copy the title.
Yeah, so you found the video I'm talking about?
No, not yet.
Oh, I'll go through. I'll see if
Massive raid on migrants. Is that the one you're talking about?
Nah. I'll go to his channel because I'm pretty sure it was his video. I'll just take a look. Yeah. While I'm doing this, I've got Discord out, so if there's any background noise, sorry.
That's right. So it looks like it's actually Mexico conducted a raid on migrant caravan. Ducks largest raid on migrant caravan. So the article that he had was this one. That's the article he had. Okay, that article that he had with Mother of All Caravans, head north.
That's the one. Yeah.
April. There's a date on the top of it. Looks like it's 2008. Oh no, 2019, 23rd of April. Mother of All Caravans heads north.
That's it. That's the one. Mother of All Caravans. That's it. Let me search that up. See if I find the original story.
Heads north.
I'm glad I didn't screw that up.
That's right.
my brain gets things wrong sometimes, and yeah. Here we go. Time. Mexico braces for Mother of All Caravans. Oh, that's on time.com.
There's also one on the Washington Examiner as well.
Yeah. New York Post, March 29. Yeah, okay, cool. So there is a 10,000 something caravan coming. Cool. I got that right.
So, yeah, massive caravan, approximately 10,000 migrants traveling through Mexico in hopes of reaching the United States, is expected to arrive in Mexico City this week, according to local media reports. The group has been described by Mexico's Caravan Murad, which is widely referred to the mother of all caravans. Around 90 people embarked from El Salvador last week of the march and then crossed into the Comal and then into Mexico. By March 29, Sisman said the group had expected to exceed 20,000 members.
Oh, wow. What are they going to do, man, when that arrives?
So, Trump, build that wall, mate.
Yeah. Jesus. It's like World War Z, dude.
Yeah. Let the memes begin. The Daily Wire is blocking me from seeing the story. Here it is here. So, Diamond and Silk, April Ryan is a true enemy of the people, according to them. Is the Daily Wire gone to a subscription-based service?
I don't know.
I can't seem to get past there. They got a... They've got like an ad that's coming up, so I can't get past.
It wants you to pay. So they're doing paywalls, are they?
Yeah, sorry, I just blocked it. In recent appearance on CNN, Ryan abandoned all semblance of journalistic integrity to attack the White House press secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders with abhorrent language that is beneath the dignity of her position as a White House correspondent. It's not the first time Ryan has taken a swipe at Sanders, but this time she hit a new low by suggesting that Sanders should be decapitated? She wrote, "Not only does Sanders not have credibility, she lied. She's out and she out-lied," Ryan argued, referencing Sanders' 2007 claim the FBI agents had lost faith in James Comey, and that the people and the American people can't trust her. They trust what is said from the president's mouthpiece, spokesman from the People's House. Therefore, she should be let go. She should be fired. End of story. That doesn't say anything about being decapitated, though.
Yeah, that's a hell of a claim.
Yeah.
Would a White House correspondent really say that?
No. I can't see anything in the quote where she would have. If they would have put the quote.
Wait, that's the Daily Caller.
Yeah.
Not the Daily Wire.
Yeah.
Or the Daily Wire was asking for a paywall too?
No, Daily Caller, sorry.
Okay.
So does this sound like an objective journalism to you? No.
No. The Daily Caller is making some very crazy claims there. Yeah. Defamation incoming.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, look, I don't know. Maybe there's something more to this quote. But they literally... So I'm making sure I got this word right? DECAPITATED. Yeah,
that spells out decapitated, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So there's nothing in here about that. So I don't get why they're making that claim. But at the end of the day, the fact is that, look, do I think that the American people have lost faith in James Comey? Sure. I don't think that was a false claim made by Sanders, to be honest. So, like they said, not only does Sanders not have the credibility, she lied. She outright lied. Argued referencing Sanders' 2017 claim that the FBI agents had lost faith in Comey. I would say that is true. And that the people and the American people can't trust her. They can't trust her, blah, 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 blah. I would say that, yeah, did the FBI agents have lost faith in Comey? I would say that would be most likely true. But I think it would be hard to come across anybody that, Yeah. It's, So I'm trying to find this decapitated quote.
By the way, shout out to McGruff. He's the only one who's stayed all the way to this long.
Yeah, there's 4 people at the moment, but yeah.
Oh, there's 4 now. Okay. Mine is stuck on 3. I don't know why.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that.
Sometimes it won't automatically refresh. You got to refresh the page for it to update the count, which is like insane. Yeah. But anyway. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm going to have to look into this because the Daily Caller is making some pretty big claims here. I don't see anywhere where they've suggested that she should be decapitated. Look, maybe I'm missing the claim here. It's in the article somewhere, maybe. I don't know. But I can't see anywhere where she's claimed that. It says that if she's upset by my question, that's fine. I understand people in the White House are very upset, Ryan said at the time. But what I will say to you is that for her to say, you don't know me in certain quarters in this nation, that starts a physical fight. There's nothing there about decapitation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got no idea what they're talking about there. Oh, here it is here. How about, so who does here? How about when Ryan asserted that there's a lack of credibility at the White House and therefore you have to start lopping off heads? It's not really... decapitate. I wouldn't say he's. Yeah, I wouldn't say that's him saying that she needs her head chopped off though. But I think that's just general speak, really, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know if she really said the word, and in a context like that, I don't know. That's pretty bad. Shouldn't do that. Like, I would know better. If I was at Canberra, I would never say that.
Yeah. So yeah, Ryan, when asserted that there's a lack of credibility at the White House, and therefore you have to start lopping off heads. I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, I think it's hyperbole. I think at the end of the day, you're saying that there's a lack of credibility in the White House. You have to start getting rid of people. It's the same sort of same rules, same. So,
yeah, I just wouldn't say that. I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't say lopping off heads. I
think it's figurative.
Look, I know it's a figurative speech, and it's about using your words wisely. I'd never say that. Personally, I'd never do that. If I was in the White House, like, damn dude, I'll take that and run with it to the bank in the mainstream media. You have to know better, man. Look, should she be fired? No, obviously not. Just have I just don't do it again. Use your words better.
So apparently, there's more information about Joe Biden.
My goodness, poor white people, please.
There's more information that's just coming out now about Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden. Sorry. You want to circle back to this because this has just literally gone up. So, Joe Biden, meet Joe Biden's senior advisor, Simone Sanders, who sounds like a huge racist.
In the Democratic,
so,
in my opinion, we don't need.
Let's see what the CNN article or the CNN panel was saying. You won't be able to hear this, obviously, because it's a Twitter thing, but they'll be able to hear it, and yeah.
In my opinion, we don't need white people leading the Democratic Party right now.
I'll just turn my volume up from the screen.
It should be reflected as so in our leadership and throughout the staff.
Well, I'll restart it then. Let us know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Right.
In my opinion, we don't need white people leading the Democratic Party right now. The Democratic Party is diverse, and it should be reflected as so in our leadership and throughout the staff at the highest levels.
What do you say to the people who dragged a poor white guy out of a car and beat him?
Oh my goodness, poor white people, please, stop. The folks calling for civility might need to check their privilege.
So, yeah, I don't know. Look, do I think she's racist? Probably. Yeah. It's funny because her going on about the white people in the Bernie campaign, I was actually going to tweet about that earlier today. I was going to make a joke of it and say, look at all these rich white people running the Democratic Party and they're supposedly for the black population. I was just going to stir shit though, but you know.
Okay, I just finished it. Yeah, she's insane.
Yeah. But anyway. The government should not ban people from watching something, I'm not going to say on stream, and jihadi videos online, says a Brexit Party candidate. So the government should not ban people from watching certain illegal porn that I disagree with, and jihadi videos online, with a new candidate for the Nigel Farage Brexit Party has said. Claire Fox, a long-standing advocate for free speech, was on one of 13 Brexit Party candidates who have been unveiled by Mr. Farage's party, to fight the European Parliament elections on the 23rd of May. The identities of the further 60 candidates are due to be announced by Mr. Farage and his party's chairman, Rich Twice, over the next 48 hours. This to me sounds like she's trying to advocate for no censorship, but look, I'm all for freedom of speech and everything like that, but even I have a problem with allowing people to watch that first thing that I don't want to say because people will take it out of context.
Yeah.
CP.
Yeah, you have to ban. I agree with banning CP.
Yeah.
But all the other stuff, like, jihad videos and all that other stuff, I don't really care.
It's not my cup of tea, but it's a very slippery slope when you start banning things like, for example, that, because then they can make the argument about the alt-right or whatever it may be, and then, white
violence. Yeah, basically what it is that if you're going to ban these jihad videos and Mexican cartel videos, basically what you're saying is you want to ban extreme violence on the internet. And that is yes, I agree, super slippery slope.
Yeah. Maybe I would say maybe if you want to advocate for banning a video that is against the law when it comes to freedom of speech, like, for example, inciting initial violence, or CP or whatever it may be, I could probably get behind that. Like, for example, my understanding is, like, these jihadi videos and stuff like that, they're literally saying in some of these videos to go out and to cause death to America and stuff like that. Well, if that is inciting violence and not protected by America's First Amendment, freedom of speech, then maybe you could say that. Maybe just rule the video platform in service under the rules of freedom of speech, maybe. But like I say, that's what I think she's getting at here, and I think this is the media trying to go through and discredit Nigel Farage's party, because they don't want him to win.
Yeah.
Well, it also,
I don't know, man.
It also does make me wonder too. Is she being put into this party to say this sort of stuff so that they could take the sound bites, run the stories, and discredit him?
That is what they do. But I mean, the way that I would run a platform is, if it's legal, it's okay. And basically, CP is illegal.
Yep.
But Mexicans torturing each other because of cartel stuff, that's not illegal. Like, as a video. The actions were.
Yeah. Is that inciting violence though?
Well, no, I've actually seen some of them. And all it is that, like, they just say something in Spanish, which I understand what they're saying. And, it's basically, you did this horrible thing. And they're like, please don't do what you're going to do. And then they just do that thing. And and it's like, okay, I mean, yeah. I mean, when you sit down and watch a Hollywood movie that's got gore in it, it's really not that different, other than they're using puppets and these are real people. Like, there's just no difference. And by the way, are they going to enforce this on YouTube? Because, you can bring up the channel on the stream, but don't play any of the videos. I think that's all you have to do. If you go onto YouTube and type in Cambodia Nature, that channel, what they're doing is they own a python, or it's a boa constrictor, I'm not sure what. And what they do is they have a set. It's like they create a set, like a little environment, and they put like puppies, kittens, or ducks and things in there. And then what they do is they release this snake into there to do horrible things to the animal.
I've heard of this
However,
channel.
then they have it.
I think Gunman was talking about it actually a few days ago.
You watch his videos too? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, you watch Gundam? Oh, okay. Yeah. He was a little bit. Gundam was actually a bit hyperbolic. They don't actually allow the snake to kill or maim a creature. In most of the videos, like the one with the kittens, the snake never touches a kitten. And what it is that they have this thing where this person will then intervene and save the animal.
Okay. There was one video.
He was a bit hyperbolic.
There was one video he showed where the puppy was being strangled, though.
Yes, that is true, though. Yeah, so there is the puppy being strangled a bit. That's true. But the one with the kittens apparently never even touched the kitten.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's kind of all over the shop, but that's allowed on YouTube. That's crazy.
I don't know, because Gunman wouldn't even play half the videos because he was worried about being taken down.
Yeah, but Gundam would be taken down, but Cambodian Nature is not.
Well, Cambodian Nature might have the right political opinion.
I don't think their videos have a political opinion. I think they're protected because it's Cambodian.
Well, true. Identity politics.
Yeah, yes, it is a political angle, but the channel is not political.
No.
It's just that.
But no, but that's what I meant. I meant they might have the right political protections, I suppose, is a better way of putting it.
Yes, that's what I would then ask of this UK thing that you've talked about. It's like, okay, so if you want to take out anything that's violent or mean or anything like that, I mean, YouTube is a platform that arguably is hosting such content.
True. We should probably keep wrapping up. So
yeah, let's wrap up.
2 more stories, guys, and we're going to head off. So Parkerman, I'm a Jew. Stop calling me anti-Semite. So I'm a Jew. I'm an observant Jew, raised in Soco, Illinois, a town that resists neo-Nazis' march, and which at the time was home to the largest population of Holocaust survivors in the world. Outside of Israel, Nazis murdered many of my grandfather's relatives in Poland. Today, former Vice President Joe Biden's trivialized the suffering of Jews and exploited the memory of the Holocaust of personal and political gain, and he used the lie to do it. Biden suggested that President Donald Trump and nearly 63 Americans who voted for him support the rise of the new wave of anti-Semitism and white nationalism similar to Nazi Germany in the 1930s. So this is obviously linking back to the other story that I probably should have played before with Joe Biden. But obviously Joe Biden's used a lie to kick off his campaign. And that's obviously what they're talking about there. Alright, last story, and we're going to finish it on a happy note. Gynecologist warns women not to put garlic in their vaginas.
Why? Why would people do that?
Well, the question I have to ask is A, what's wrong with sticking garlic in your vagina? And B, why are people sticking garlic in their vagina? But regardless,
I mean, maybe it's vampires are just that starved that they're waiting for that time of the month.
Oh my god, really? You went there? A gynecologist has taken to Twitter to advise women against putting garlic in their vaginas. Now, before we go on, in case you're wondering why such a warning would ever be necessary, basically there's a bit of an old wives' tale that suggests that popping cooking ingredients can be used to treat vagina yeast infections. Okay, that's why. So, but according to Dr. Jennifer Garnett, there have been no studies suggest that garlic has antifungal properties beyond that confirms of Petri dish. In fact, she warns that vagina could serve as an ideal environment for the growth of dangerous mollusks bacteria. In the 8-part thread, using the hashtag vagina is no garlic zone, okay, the author of the book called The Vagina Bible began explaining that studies of garlic in the lab should not be used to make vagina-based conclusions. The doctor then went to explain that garlic could be in fact worsened and an inflammatory yeast infection. She said garlic could have been a bacteria from the soil. Bacteria from the soil can be pathogenic, bad for the body. That's why we clean wounds. Okay, so apparently that happened.
Yeah. One of those interesting things is I would say, look, if we really want to stick something up there, silver balls. Because silver does kill bacteria.
Or how about just, a dildo? Or a vibrator? Go to a sex store, for the love of God.
A clean one.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, clean one, yeah. I don't know. Well, I've heard everything from women using yogurt even to do that. Yogurt to treat a yeast infection. I had a girl I knew that would do that. The funny thing was she kept having to do it. So my argument was that it probably wasn't working, but regardless, at the end of the day.
Yeah, probiotics work inside the body through the mouth, not the vagina.
Yeah, she would eat the yogurt, I think, actually.
Oh, well, okay, but I don't think it. I don't know. I don't know. I think that the argument there is it's good for gut flora. But I don't think the vagina gets involved.
She specifically said it was for a yeast infection, and I'm only assuming that she would eat it. I never asked. I believe it or not, didn't want to know what she might be doing with the yogurt.
Yeah. Yogurt is you eat yogurt, not stick it up there.
That said, I've done some things with whipped cream.
But that's... Yeah, okay, but I guess you've watched Varsity Blues.
No, I haven't actually.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Whipped creams and strawberries makes a very interesting dessert.
Yeah, it depends on, what your plate is. I mean, if you're using a human being as a plate, sounds fun.
Well, I was thinking more about the breast area. I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, we probably should get off this before people start, taking this out of context and claiming that I'm some kinky man, because that would be totally out of context. I have no idea what you're talking about. But look, at the end of the day, girls don't go sticking garlic in your vaginas. And if you do have a problem with vampires, I would suggest maybe a wooden stake instead of a garlic. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I think I've seen a fair bit of Vampire Diaries. They were using, I think they were putting. It's not garlic; it's a plant that they have, and they would put it into the water for the city supply, and that would fill up into people, and then the vampires couldn't, bite the people there. But this is so way off topic. Anyway, moving on.
Vampire Diaries?
Yeah, I've seen Vampire Diaries and the originals. Mrs. and I liked it. It's a good show.
I must admit I had a bit of a thing for that Elena chick off it.
Yeah.
Also the blonde. The blonde was very hot too. The blonde friend.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not saying I watched it just because the women were hot, but I might have watched it because the women were hot.
So in the originals?
No, I never watched it.
Yeah, that's a good one too. You should watch that one too.
Yeah, no, I only watched the first couple of seasons because I liked Elena and then the blonde and yeah, no. But anyway, but apart from that, guys, that's obviously where we're going to leave the show today. We're going to leave it on vampires apparently because we're a serious news organisation. But apart from that, guys, obviously let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you have a problem with vampires coming in your bed at night and having a munch or something on whatever it may be? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please... Hey?
I said kinky.
Yeah, you know why I tell you men go down on their wives, don't you? It's for the Tommy O'Glenn!
Oh my god, dude. Oh god.
But anyway, we're still live on here, so we probably should get going. Apart from that, guys, breakfast in bed. There you go. See? Look, McGrath's even getting in on it. Breakfast in bed. Apart from that, guys, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack that like button. If the jokes have been disgusting and crude, please smack that like button. Apart from that, guys, obviously we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Enjoy. Thank you, McGrath, and everybody who came in today and stayed for the whole time. I don't know why some people stay the whole time, but regardless, we love you guys. Have a great night. Enjoy. And we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.
See you tomorrow. Have a great night.